Is it emergency?
Hi, I just found a body.
Oh, go ahead, caller. What's your emergency?
I just found a body.
Right, okay. A body, is it? Are they breathing?
No, they're dead. They look like they've possibly been there like a few days or something, with some flies and stuff.
Right, okay. Bear with me a second.
Jemma Mitchell met 67-year-old Mee Kuen Chong, also known as Deborah Chong, through a church group. The pair had been on friendly terms and Mitchell had also acted as a spiritual healer for Deborah. Mitchell had been in the process of renovating her house but was in desperate need of funds to complete the work. Deborah had agreed to provide this money, believed to be in the region of £200,000, but at some point, had changed her mind. This decision, just days before the murder, led to the pair falling out. Deborah was last seen alive on June 10, 2021 by one of her lodgers. On the morning of June 11, 2021, Mitchell went to Deborah's house in Wembley and most likely killed her. She was captured on CCTV leaving the direction of the address pulling two large, wheeled suitcases. By Mitchell's actions, the suitcases appeared to be heavy.
Here, she was captured on CCTV walking towards Deborah's home with a suitcase. Hours later, she was spotted again. This time, the case she is dragging is visibly heavier because it now contains the body of Miss Chong. It would take 2 weeks before she would move the corpse from her home, first decapitating it before driving 200 miles to Devon, where it was finally dumped, leaving it for a family to find.
After getting a minicab back to her house, it appears Mitchell kept the body in her property for around 2 weeks before driving to Salcombe in Devon on June 26 and dumping Deborah's remains. In that time, Mitchell had made a false report via email to a missing persons charity and sent a WhatsApp message to Deborah's lodger saying Deborah had gone to spend time with her family for a year to clear her head. Perhaps most chillingly, given where Deborah was eventually found, Mitchell also wrote she had planned to stay somewhere close to the ocean.
Is it emergency?
Hi, I just found a body.
Oh, go ahead, caller. What's your emergency?
I just found a body.
Right, okay. A body, is it? Are they breathing?
No, they're dead. They look like they've possibly been there like a few days or something, with some flies and stuff.
Right, okay. Bear with me a second. Let's pop this on.
What's the road?
Yeah, what road are you on?
I'm in Salcombe.
You're in Salcombe, sorry. Let me have a look. I can populate, hopefully, where you are. So, Bennett Road, are you quite near the harbour?
We're up from North Sand Beach. Hang on, which is a Google Map.
Oh, okay, yeah, so I can see North Sand Bay. Bennett Road, yeah, you are on Bennett Road.
Deborah's body was found on June 27 by an overgrown pathway off Bennett Road, Salcombe. Her head was removed from her body and found a few meters away. Due to decomposition, identification was not possible for several days. A post-mortem examination confirmed Deborah had suffered a skull fracture along with other injuries consistent with an assault. It also concluded the head could not have been removed by animal activity, meaning Mitchell, who had a degree in osteopathy and experience in human dissection, most likely removed it. After reports began to circulate that a body had been discovered in Salcombe, Mitchell, no doubt realizing that it was Deborah's, made a further fraudulent report via email on June 30 to the missing persons charity, stating Deborah had contacted her to say she felt neglected and was staying with family by the sea. Mitchell had also forged a copy of Deborah's will ensuring 95% of the estate was left in her name. This was found at Mitchell's property following her arrest, along with various possessions belonging to Deborah. Once Deborah had been identified as the deceased, detectives began to speak to those who knew her and quickly began to suspect Mitchell of involvement. She was arrested at her home on July 6 but declined to answer any of the questions put to her while in custody. Mitchell was charged with Deborah's murder on July 9.
Police! Hello there.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, good. There's no answer. Sorry, what's your name?
Sorry, we were asleep.
Are you Jemma?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, Jemma. Just could you hold a second?
Sure,
Come on a second.
Sorry, can I ask
Gemma, do you want to come out?
Yeah, sure.
Guys, just fancy them.
Hand just see your hands. Alright, Gemma, at this moment, I'm arresting you on suspicion of murder. Okay, you don't have to say anything, but you may have a defence. Do you want to mention one question, something which you later rely on court. Anything you do say Maybe give them evidence, okay? Once we're in the cuffs,
Am I allowed to...
I'll go explain everything to you, okay?
Should I get some
Yeah,
shoes
sorry.
now?
What?
If you want to one sec.
Inside?
Who's inside at the moment?
Mother.
Your mother?
Hillary,
Okay.
is it?
If you want to... Oh, can someone lift that up?
Yeah. Let's step back inside.
Is anyone else inside? Just your mum?
Yeah.
There is someone else inside,
No,
or just your
that's
mum?
just my mum, yeah.
Alright, do you want to... Should I bring her out, or...?
Bring her in
Bring her in?
for a minute.
Well,
yeah.
we're just going to come in for a sec, okay?
Sure.
And they've said that the person driving the Volvo waited in the car all that time with the windows down and the front door open, the passenger door open, when it was literally chucking it down with rain and it was windy. Why is that, Gemma?
No comment.
The car stank, didn't it, Gemma?
No comment.
Stunk of a dead person.
No comment.
Stunk of Deborah's decomposing body. Is that right, Gemma?
No comment.
Jemma Mitchell became the first woman in England and Wales to be sentenced live on television for killing Mee Kuen Chong and dumping her headless body in woodlands more than 200 miles away. At the sentencing hearing, which took place at the Old Bailey in London on October 28, 2022, Mitchell was sentenced by presiding Judge Richard Marks KC to life imprisonment with a minimum term of 34 years.
That you are extremely devious. I said at the outset of these remarks that I would return to the issue of mitigating and aggravating features. The sole mitigation is that you are effectively a woman of previous good character, although given the gravity of your crime, in my judgment, that entitles you to only a very modest discount. As to aggravating features, there are the following. Firstly, the amount of planning and premeditation that went into this offence, although it is right to acknowledge that this is bound to be an invariable feature of a killing done for gain, and I must avoid double counting in that regard. Secondly, there is the issue of Deborah's mental and physical vulnerability, to which I have already referred, and of which you were very well aware. Thirdly, there is the chilling aspect of what you did to and with her body after you had killed her. You have shown absolutely no remorse, and it appears that you are in complete denial as to what you did, notwithstanding what, in my judgment, amounted to overwhelming evidence against you. The enormity of your crime is profoundly shocking, even more so given your apparent religious devotion, as well as the fact that Deborah Chong was a good friend to you and had shown you great kindness. The sentence of the court is one of life imprisonment, and the minimum term of imprisonment that you will in any event be required to serve will be 34 years. There will be deducted from that term the 475 days that you have spent in custody on remand, and the statutory surcharge will apply.
With the Metropolitan Police's Specialist Crime Command, and I led the team which investigated the murder of Mee Kuen Chong, who was known to family and friends as Deborah. Deborah was 67 years old when she was murdered in June of last year. Today at the Old Bailey, a 38-year-old woman, Jemma Mitchell, has been found guilty of that murder. Deborah was born in Malaysia. Through her own hard work and initiative, she made a good life for herself, finally settling in London, where she was a much valued and loved member of the community. The jury's heard that her later years were marred by poor mental health, but that throughout this time she never lost her firm religious beliefs nor her belief in the goodness of charity. And it was upon these beliefs that Jemma Mitchell preyed in an attempt to take a significant amount of money from Deborah. When Deborah refused, Mitchell murdered her. She forced the body into a suitcase and she transported the body some distance across North London, where she retained it for over a fortnight. At some point, she decapitated Deborah's body before finally driving some 250 miles to the coast of Devon, where she discarded her remains by the side of a wet and overgrown footpath. Unfortunately for Mitchell, the following day, on the 27th of June, a holidaying family in Salcombe found Deborah's remains and contacted the police. And at that point, Devon Cornwall Police initiated inquiries. When it became apparent that Deborah had been murdered in London, my team took primacy. Mitchell was arrested in early July and charged with Deborah's murder several days later. Our investigations revealed that Mitchell was in the process of doctoring wills in an attempt to make a significant claim on the estate of Deborah, but luckily this attempt never came to fruition.